You know, I haven't been playing on my Switch too, despite buying it already. I have Mario Kart World and PvZ Replanted along with my old Switch games, but I never got anything new. No Kong, no Kirby, no Zelda, no Pikmin. Maybe a trip to the eShop can help me find a game that
That stench. I've smelled it before.
I want to end it all. The eShop, a place where Nintendo players can buy their games. I mean, you guys asked for a physical version of games, to which Nintendo didn't seem to learn a lesson from. I'm not justifying the game's keycard existence, but at least it's better than running a cloud version. But what's worse, a cloud version of a graphically intensive game, or a game that looks like it was generated with AI? There are two kinds of the lowest common denominator in gaming: shovelware, software designed to appeal as quickly as possible to the large number of gamers as possible, and AI-generated content. Shovelware may be seen as the better of the AI-generated games, but that's like saying a slap on the face is better than getting punched in the dick. AI has had a massive rise over the years. Companies use it to cut corners, or if they're lazy and cheap, just use AI to solve all our problems. You may think this only limits itself to animation or just cheap promotion, but nope, and I found the worst of the worst. Let's press start. And yes, I am already not the first person to do this, but can you see in the video, please? We start things off with Disney ripoffs, starting with Princess Rapunzel, the Kingdom's Legacy. Ah yes, I remember when Princess Rapunzel had normal long hair and not 70 feet long. And yes, even though the length of Rapunzel's hair is debated in the tales, the Disney version specifies it was 70 feet long, enough so that she could tie up Eugene. In this game, she is also a brunette and not blonde. You could argue that it may be golden brown, but it's so hard to tell. But in the next shot, she is blonde, so make up your mind, Debs. But why would she have a map of a kingdom that no longer exists? This map Rapunzel? Also, nice shell space for those bugs, Mother Gozzle. Remember Lord Cressel from the film? Or the Misty figure? What about the Guardian? Did Varian become a Dark Mage? And Flynn Rider? And yes, it's Flynn Rider, not Eugene Fitzherbert. You lied to me, Disney, just like how you tried to bury a lawsuit under your parks. I've seen some pretty incredible places, but this is something else, and it shows Asgard? I think Varian took over Corona.
How could you do this?
I want you to know I wish it didn't come to this.
This novel follows Rapunzel, who, after restoring peace to her kingdom, discovers that her legacy holds even more secrets. No period here. Together with her faithful friends, Flynn, Maximus, Pascal. Oh, so it's actually a sequel to the Disney movie. Screw the animators who worked on the Rapunzel TV show. This is the true sequel to Disney you always wanted. Rapunzel must face new challenges, find an ancient artifact, and save not only her kingdom, but also other nearby kingdoms that face a similar danger. You mean Varian? I guess inventions have failed him. You may notice that he didn't show any gameplay screenshots. That's because you're looking at them. Why spend $70 on a port of Cyberpunked 2077 when you can spend $4.90, not even $5, for a visual novel with little to no gameplay? It doesn't even display the choices you can make, especially for a narrative adventure game like Telltale or Life is Strange. You're spending $5 for a game that you can just read for free on a YouTube podcast. But you know who would fall for this? Children. Children whose brains aren't developed enough to determine the quality of the product. As long as they had fun, that was all that mattered to them. But there ain't no fun here. The Little Mermaid, Princess of the Underwater Kingdoms. Already we got a mouthful. Ariel returns in a new story, embarking on a heroic mission to safeguard Triton's kingdom. It says a safeguard. Safeguard. Was the word protect not available on the phone? Facing unprecedented challenges in a plot full of intrigue and courage, complete with a chapter selection map, with its innovative ability to select whatever chapter you want. Oh boy! No other game did this! 60 full-color backgrounds, designed to fully immerse you with conjoined dolphins and the glow-in-the-dark cordyceps virus. Hey Ellie, I think we need another immunity vaccine. Apparently the game calls it algae, but that isn't algae to me. Triton has heterochromia, the mermaids and mermen who cannot show up are cross-eyed, Flounder and Sebastian are,
That thing's green! Green!
And Morgana. Oh wait, it's a Return to the Sea adaptation because Morgana is there. I wonder what happened to Ursula. Anyway, I'm gonna be buying tickets for the Broadway adaptation of the best song in the film, Baby Shark. Do 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 do. Winnie the Pooh, Honey for All. Maybe this will be better than Blood and Honey. This is a scam! It's worse than Blood and Honey. Who knew Donkey from Shrek had a best friend named Pooh? Leaves are floating in the sky. Honey is sweet, but friendship is even sweeter. Biscuit! Ah yes, I remember the source material when Rabbit wears Pooh's red shirt, or Trigger being on all fours, along with jars of honey being up for grabs in the woods. Don't mind me, guys, just need to stock up because the Orange Man made the grocery prices higher. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, being set in the same universe as Willy's Chocolate Experience, complete with mushrooms with spores that look like whipped cream. Remember that crap? The time when it was back to offer an enchanting entertainment with catty live performances, catchy tons, lollipops that were XR Sir Dre, and a pastadize of sweet teats. And then the event became this. Oompa, loompa, doompity-doo, have I got a scammer just for you? This doofus said he used AI to his crappy books, you'll say goodbye. Oh hey look, Asgard is back again. You know, we've been doing this 4 times now, so the plot involves restoring the clock of lost time to return balance to Wonderland. Strange, I expected spelling errors, but the grammar and spelling seems to be fine, except when it didn't work. Also, remember the Shadow Watchmaker? And how does he have a clock on his chest that doesn't display the hours or minutes? And it's an alarm clock, not even wrapped around his neck. Avada Kedavra! Ice Sisters, Princesses of the Frozen Age, starring Kaylin and Aina in a generic font that changes in the screenshots. I guess Elsa would read you solid for this. The cold really bothered her anyway. And no, we're not gonna play that song. In the not Arendelle Kingdom of Lunalia, 2 sisters must inherit the duty of maintaining natural balance. Of what? Lunalia? Lunala? Lunella? Meet this beautiful story presented in a visual novel format. The story begins when a mistake in the sacred ritual unleashes uncontrollable forces. The world begins to crumble under a blanket of frost because Elsa sent by the mouse to kill anyone who stole her copyright. Nice grammar there. You not know how grammar, Cilia, not Sylvia. Jab, lob, transformus! The evil witch in the Snow White interactive book. If only they could see me now. How the fuck it looks really off. After a trip to the dwarf woodlands from Kingdom Hearts, let's look at another Snow White game. Wait, what? Princess Snow White, the Enchanted Mirror. Whistle while you work. Just jump right in and you'll begin to realize it's a sin.
Hello.
The ancient magic mirror, which had been sealed in a secret room in the castle, is beginning to show signs of activity.
Something's here. I feel it breathing on me.
A mysterious sorceress, a former ally of the evil queen, has returned with the intention of unleashing all the hidden power of the mirror, a power that not even the queen could fully control. Dude, the game literally pulled this card in front of Disney. Anyway, remember the guardian from Snow White? Is the tree his toothpick? It's like in his mouth. In his mouth. Who dares disturb the peace of my forest? Guardian, it's 2025. AI doesn't care about your peaceful forest. Also, you may notice that these screenshots never showed the sorceress. Is it Snow White herself? I knew she acted shady after killing her Disney counterpart. Hey, don't look into her face. Also, is Snow White in a furniture store that's closing down right now? You know, it's a shame that, unlike so many Disney Princess sequels, Snow White never got a continuation. And before you say this was one, it wasn't one. I played Ghost of Yote a lot while making this video, so let's bring up another game. Clan's Revenge. A creative title, might I add. In Clan's Revenge, 2 young ninja train together, but one becomes a villain, triggering a confrontation between 2 friends. Okay, funny man off. How do these 2 become rivals? You have to imply at least what motivated the 2 to become sworn enemies. Is it a love triangle like in TMNT? Or is it one guy getting the sunglasses and not the other? I don't know, but Sasuke here seems to not be bothered much about it.
Whoa, that is hardcore!
You know, with the boycott going on for Yote, Twitch scripters are just moving the goalpost for. Why aren't they targeting this one? It clearly looks like shit, something that these guys love to shit on. We are castaways of steel. Man, the backyardigans look very much different. They are tougher, grittier, more Romany. Leave my friend alone. Oh wait, it's not Castaway, silly me, it's Infinity Blade. You know, the game that the 419 took down from the App Store because it was outdated, they took it down so they could put it on the eShop. We were so naive, fellas, and the spelling of Coliseum is just so worth it. You know, for every AI game that I covered, more keep popping up. These games must be really profitable at tricking naive parents into saying, hey, my little Timmy loves Kung Fu Panda, and I must buy him this game that looks like Kung Fu Panda. Remember that cool Devil May Cry-like game released 17 years ago?
Chew on my fist!
Eat rotten dumplings, you're gonna get Slop Text Adventure instead.
Enough talk. Let's fight!
Star Galaxy Academy Princess Legacy. Is this Star Wars? Star Trek? Mass Effect? In a distant galaxy long ago and far, far away, a young alien named Lyra, or is it Lyra, is accepted into the prestigious Star Academy. Lyra and her friends must join forces to protect their school and peace in the galaxy. I'm suggesting that this alien is Lyra because they never show her in the screenshots. And this is the most wasted potential for a game ever.
Is that it?
The Veltari Corporation against the Guardians. What about the pro-Cerberus like human terrorist organizations that seek to dominate over the aliens and have them rule over the galaxy or something?
Humanity is up against the greatest threat of our brief existence.
Also, what kind of aliens are these guys? Are they Turians, Asari, Solarians, Krogans, or augmented humans? Is this why this one is a failed test experiment? Sorry for going on a tangent, but something like this would reach Mass Effect levels of incredible.
Some would argue you brought this on yourself.
Think of the type of combat and narrative it would give, but at least we have the Expanse game coming out soon. And before we leave, Dragon Age, the franchise is this way. Even when these AI games copy from Disney, keep in mind they can't get it right. For one, that's not Chip, and they even got the clock wrong. That's not Cogsworth, it's Ding Dong, not Ding Dong, Ding Dong. Or how even the Aladdin game isn't even titled Aladdin? No joke, I had no idea this copied Aladdin until I opened it up, thinking it was another generic AI game. And remember, kids, the genie's real name is Genius. And where's Abu? Did Genius eat him? No wait, it was the Dark Sorcerer! He used Iago and Abu as blood sacrifices to bring himself to the Dark Dimension, which is a safe space from hell. Oh boy, the Upside Down has some good competition to another world that's fucked up. Alright, one more. My eyes can only last so much and I have to reuse assets. Nathan Jones and the Eternal Myth. Our boy Indiana Jones couldn't make it. Where the fuck is Indy? Is this guy Indy? With mutton chops? Why does Isabel here look like Christian if they envision themselves as a trans woman? The diary that Nathan not Drake Jones finds says that the Eternal Myth, the greatest treasure in the history of mankind. Legends tell that this artifact hides a divine power. The pleasing graphics and evocative soundtrack will immerse you in an epic journey, where every choice you make, so it is like Telltale and Life is Strange. Woohoo! But AI, why did it have to be AI?
Very dangerous.
How do you think I feel, real Dr. Jones? I have to sit here and not do anything proactive while you're beating Nazis' asses.
Elderly potheads. Why did it have to be elderly potheads?
Nathan Jones must have sold so well that a sequel was made. You know, maybe there is more work to do. Now get back in the temple. Nathan Jones and the Empty Century. What's so empty about a century? Nathan Jones returns in this long-awaited AI sequel, immersing players in a visual novel rich in history, mystery, and adventure where he reunites with his brother and he fights zombies with their bare fists. You should have brought that 12 gauge with you. Could have saved you from a zombie bite. Ha! Oh shit, one broke in. Do you hate when this happens to you? Pardon me for a moment. You thought I was gonna turn? Not today, bitch. If you're wondering why Nintendo or Disney aren't doing anything about it, you gotta understand the company behind these AI games can pull a public domain card and get away with it. Plus, Disney has gone to a lot of hot water in recent years with unnecessary remakes and pissing off Sonic fans, so it'll look bad for them to sue a smaller company that is using their image for financial gain. And it's not done for positive benefits, it's for them and for them only, making sure you have ice water for dinner. Where's my nourishment? Ice Age. Oh wait, Ice World. Frozen Age. Featuring all your favorites like Flicker, Glacier, a How to Train Your Dragon ripoff, Simba, a Zootopia character, and Sparks from Spyro. And yes, there are houses still there. Penguins, where are you? You gotta fix that hole in the ground. Oh wait, you're playing Detective. Penguin Detective Crash Patrol. See, I told you the How to Train Your Dragon ripoff virus is spreading. And the Guardian creature from the Guardians of the Gahul makes it 10 times stronger.
To battle!
In this visual novel, a group of penguins embarked on an adventure on the ice, making friends and solving challenges. A brave team of spy penguins led by the intrepid Captain Pingu. Oh my god, Pingu? Pingu's in this game? Who knew he became a secret agent? Agent P. Captain Pingu and his crew embarked on an exciting mission to rescue their friend Patrick, who mysteriously disappears while investigating a lost island. Throughout the adventure, the team faces action-packed challenges from ancient traps to showdowns with guardians protecting a power crystal hidden on the island. And the features just back the same thing. Color backgrounds that look like a Galaxian blue was applied to them in 3% format. Mortal Kombat 1 on Switch looked better than this. A variety of penguins with attractive designs, such as a penguin with strabismus, Rico with a mohawk, and Captain Pingu himself, whose feathers are sticking out a little, but he looks fine. Plus, they repeated the educational value twice.
It's so nice, you say it twice.
And speaking of education, this video was sponsored by Random Ass Useless Fact. Random Ass Useless Fact brings you a random fact that has nothing to do with the video, and if you enter the secret code word cringe in the comment below and on my Twitter, you can get a 0% additional discount when buying a game. Did you know that penguins can drink salt water? It's because they have a special gland near their eyes that filters out the salt in the water, and they blow it out as if they sneeze it out. Random Ass Useless Fact. It has no purpose to be in the video, but the person wanted it in anyway. Sometimes the developer behind these games is so proud of them that they release more games that are like the one posted earlier. There's nothing wrong with this if a game looks really promising, but there are 2 more AI Little Mermaid games on the eShop. One literally recycles the same models as the previous game, and another one based on the Halle Bailey movie. And the Halle Bailey movie seems to have more gameplay in it in the form of jigsaw puzzles. Even then, it just looks like a 4-year-old could solve this. You know, something that I noticed is that these AI games, while copying off of Disney, don't seem to use AI versions of Mickey and Minnie. They stayed under the hole, watching in horror as their properties were bastardized by a company from the same place where RE4 took deployment. Yo, what up, Leon? Wanna play some bingo?
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
Also, if you're wondering where Donald and Goofy are, they're making out backstage. Even when the developer isn't ripping off Disney, it still looks like low quality trash that either used AI or is just coded overnight on Unity. Who even is this developer, by the way? Eldora Games. Now, I gotta give a warning. I know that it's not just Eldora Games that use AI generated content for their games, but with 100 games on the eShop, it makes you question Nintendo's quality control. You can't complain that Bluey the video game was too short and too easy, but at least it felt like a game. These are just black holes for your Lincolns. Who even is Eldora Games? Looking up Eldora Games, they're a company based on Malaga, Spain that has worked on, idols? Yeah, apparently they're so underdog that the underdogs of the indie world have usurped them. Pretty much every game is unheard of, and for very good reason. Little is known about the company, but apparently they have listed their experience with Unity and Unreal Engine. Yet, they never made a game that supported it, because this obviously looks like Unity or Unreal coded. Eldora claims to also have games on Steam, Oculus, and Xbox, and I can't seem to find Eldora games on Xbox. It's also not on Steam or Oculus. Talk about false advertising. It's only for Nintendo for Mario to hoard. But speaking of the hoarding, the big question I have is the price. Well, $5 is something to scoff at. The question is, why do most of these games cost $4.90 rather than $4.99 as normal? I tried using the Spanish exchange rate from 5 whole papers to Resident Evil 4, but ended up empty-handed on both the peseta and euro ends. Plus, on a side note, naturally you would charge slightly more than $4.90, so you can squeeze that extra cent for those living overseas. Doesn't work like that, so we're back to square one. So the bottom line is that these games are marked for $4.90 because I have no clue, and if I did make a reason, it would be ludicrous. I don't know, maybe they are using Google Translate for how many games like this cost, but hold the beak, some games are regular priced. I mean, sure, these games are too low quality to cost that much, but why are these games $4.99 and this $4.90? It's massively inconsistent. And speaking of inconsistent, some of them are priced even higher, but still bizarre at $9.90 to $11.90, or some random number like $6.54. I haven't seen pricing that strange since Alex Jones' game, which is priced at $17.76. That's a price so patriotic.
Alpha power!
It just feels like Eldora Games is spinning a wheel and seeing what it landed on. Oh nice, you know, since we're not getting any answers on their website, how about their YouTube channel? I don't mean to brag or anything, but I'm glad they have fewer subs than I do because of this shitty AI generated content. Let's look at their latest video. AI generated background, it also feels like they had ChatGPT generate the script, but at least there is gameplay, as in choosing the outcome of the story. But like I said, you're better off playing Life is Strange or Telltale. By the way, Telltale's back with a new game called Dispatch, and it's so good. They got Moist Critical and Jacksepticeye in the game, and they're not just here to bring more attention, they felt like characters.
You gonna eat those Twinks?
Even ignoring the AI usage, the art style on the next latest video changes from cell shading to realism to what looks like Studio Ghibli. And is that the same AI voiceover?
Meet the crew. Carter, Emily, Oliver, Rachel, Logan, and Ethan. Meet Michael, Megan, Davies, and Captain Wilson.
It's the the exact same shit!
This time, no gameplay was even shown. In fact, it is like this for most of Aldora's trailers. AI voiceover, the characters being introduced one at a time, gameplay being presented like a visual novel, coming soon to the Nintendo Switch.
Explore many amazing locations.
Yes, join the kids on their journey through wonderful locations such as Seuss Landing, Paris, Fishville, and underwater because cats can obviously breathe there. Speaking of underwater, remember The Little Mermaid? Aldora Games has the AI generated trailer for you, and it was just screenshots we'd already seen. Now, 144 games currently on this shop require a lot of effort, even for AI. If they did have 144 trailers, I don't think Captain Pingu over here has a home anymore. Basically, to summarize how AI is harmful beyond replacing artists, it consumes about 5 times more energy and emits more CO2 than a typical car. CO2 traps heat provided by the sun, and you can imagine how much climate change has occurred. But nah, it's all fake news. Going back to Spain, I counted 18 videos from Aldora, 3 of which are the same game, Dissopolitan. Wait, what kind of title is that? There are some fine titles like Love, Death, and Mummies, and Kitty Patrol, but what kind of name is Hollow Police Emblem or Pirate Year 1000? There are a couple of odd names for games out there, but these AI games take the cake on making no sense to an average gamer. That's like if I name my game Raccoons, Penguins, Cyberpunked. Anyway, Dissopolitan. Is this just Cyberpunk 2077? Yes, the assets look very similar. There may not be quick hacks, but the setting, the theme, and even some weapons look very similar. Also, am I hearing Microsoft Sans speaking?
I don't have time for your games. Leave me alone.
And is that Microsoft Pam?
The Resistance needs you.
Shut up, bitch!
Anyway, the trailer gives us very little aside from AI taking over the world, and the main hero has a dead wife and daughter that he blames the Resistance for not helping.
Where was the Resistance when they killed my wife? Where was the Resistance when they burned my daughter alive?
Maybe the full story they offer would solve things. Dissopolitan is set in a dystopian and oppressive futuristic metropolis called Neon City. In this city, neon-lit skyscrapers and endless advertisements dominate the landscape, creating an overwhelming and claustrophobic atmosphere. In the near future, humanity faces a severe crisis due to scarcity of oxygen, forcing the population to work tirelessly to stay alive. How does it actually work? With the scarcity of oxygen, all life will be extinct within half a day. Who's willing to bet that Aldora just had ChatGPT generate the script? Because the rest is just about the protagonist leading a resistance to overthrow their oppressors, who are the rich, and the protagonist doesn't even have a name. It's just the protagonist. But hey, there's a demo, and an outright spoiling on the final boss for good measure. Before we get to the demo, I also found Aldora's Instagram page, and we got a perfect view of their work culture. It does seem typical, but how do you go from this to this? I expected the company to be full of monkeys. Monkeys who will soon overthrow their oppressors and take over the earth. It's another cycle of the Planet of the Apes. Anyway, let's play the demo. What happened? Where's the fucking demo? Well, there's no game here. What happened? Did the programmers pass out? Or did they say, nobody would actually click on our channel, so we can throw a curveball at them? Well, that's 4 minutes wasted. Man, I just got an itch on my neck. Maybe it's something called deja vu? Nah, it would be fine. Johnny Silverhand be like, wake the fuck up, Aldora. You got a game to build and release. And you also have to stop using those AI-generated images for your games. Without a demo, there really isn't much to talk about Aldora and the practices of scamming people. Oh wait, scamming? Yes. Scamming people.
Oh, it's beautiful! Look, it's beautiful!
Now, the scamming in question is more like giving naive people, like very young children, a false sense that these games are from Disney due to similar looking designs and names, but it's still a case of misadvertising. Sure, a lot of games can change than what was promised, but it isn't as horrendous as these games. I should note that Aldora isn't the only company that is when it comes to AI-generated content on the eShop, but they are the most infamous because look at this. Look at this. There are too many games that either suspiciously or use AI for their games, but at least some of them show actual gameplay, but Aldora just scams you. I can imagine how many children cry when the game wasn't like what was advertised to them, and that's when the parents who did buy their games would have to put their foot down, and I'm glad no one is falling for this shit. While people are obviously not gonna fall for this shit, we can't stop the supporters embracing it. For now, we have to stay safe out there. AI has gotten so much more detail over the months since it became available to the public. The defenders began using it as a shield to deflect when they're called out on getting facts wrong. While AI games have been largely obscure, until you watch this video, we need to understand that the leader of the AI uprising is trying to fight against what he so-calls activists. While it's easy to say Hollow Knight, Celeste, and Deltarune are the games you should be playing on the eShop, there are plenty of obscure indie games done with generative AI that can rival those of the popular ones. Without naming the obvious, what are the best indie games on the eShop? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to stay out of cringy AI games. You know, maybe there's one more left within me. One more game for now. I have a sweet tooth for some reason. All this talk about sugar makes me go to candy country. Sweet wonder. Maddie, a curious little girl with a great love for sweets, wakes up one day in a world made entirely of candies, chocolates, and cookies. When Maddie stumbles into the mysterious candy kingdom, at first, everything seems like a dream come true. Mountains of cotton candy, rivers of chocolate, and candies everywhere. But there's a problem. If she stays too long, she'll become just another candy. You mean like those bipedal chocolate bunnies that run on water? They must be moving at least 30 miles per hour if they could do that. What do you think you're doing, kid? I love to misgender you, assuming you are a trans or some shit. A story for those who love adventure and sweets, but don't want to become one. Oh, I won't. There's obviously nothing that will— Gingerbread cookie!